So how's your journey coming? How's your Lent coming? Last week we talked about a theme for this Lent is going to be the journey. Don't stop believing. Okay, sorry. Just see if you're awake. All right, so how's your Lent coming? Remember, we said we're offering you two things this Lent. That bookmark that has some, different things to remind you of to do, different things to sign up for. And the book that we gave you at Christmas time, or if you got another one, the Rediscover Jesus. So how's that coming? How's that reading? Okay, maybe I'm not totally caught up with the reading myself, but I've been trying. So maybe at a point at which you had some good resolutions, but you're still at that first part. Right? You're still stuck there. Or maybe you kind of veered off the path a little bit. You started well, but now not so well. Or maybe you're a little concerned because actually your Lent has been pretty good, and so something must be wrong. But wherever you're at on this journey, we're all on the journey together, even if we're still stuck at the beginning. So remember, I talked about our focus this year is going to be a theme we're going to use is Croagh Patrick, the mountain of St. Patrick that he climbed up, that he walked up, he hiked up. And he spent 40 days and 40 nights on top of this mountain, fasting, praying for the people of Ireland. And several years ago, 2008, my family and I went to Ireland, and my sisters and I, we climbed up. Well, we went on a hike up Croagh Patrick. Our parents stayed at the bottom. It was a 3.5-hour hike altogether, round trip. So they said, okay, we'll see you at the end. We're going to go around here. So Colleen, Janae, and I, we walked up the mountain. And as we were walking up, we noticed that the view is getting better and better whenever we look behind us because we can see the islands and the water. In fact, we have one picture here that gives you a little perspective of that. That's Colleen on the left, Janae on the right. So looking out on the islands, they say that there's 33 islands in that area for the years of Jesus. So you just had to stop to rest and look at God's creation. Just keep quiet. So then we continued up the way. At a certain point, Colleen said, "I've had enough. I can't go any farther." So Janae and I, being the good brother and sister that we said, okay, we'll see you later. And so it was agreed that we were going to try to go to the top. So if you couldn't make it, you had to go back down or just stay there and wait for us to come back down. So she was fine. She went back down. So Janae and I, we kept on going up. And then we reached a certain point in which there was all these rocks. And it wasn't the best of footing. So you see that I took a picture from where we were at, and so going down. And you would kind of slide on these rocks. You see that one guy on the left, he's trying to keep his footing on the side there. So Janae didn't like that too much. I still thought it was fine. It was safe, relatively safe. And but she said, I've had enough. I'm not going any further. So me, being the good brother that I am, said, okay, well, I'll see you later. And but no, I knew she'd be fine waiting for me towards the bottom there. And so I went toward the top. And when I got to the top, I had this view, the top there. So the view is always best at the top. If you persevere, if you keep on going. Sometimes, we can only go a certain distance. That's fine where we're at, but if we can keep on going, then the view is always better up there. So up there at the top, there's a chapel there. Got to pray. The seminaries of Ireland, they all happened to be taking a pilgrimage that day. And so I met all of them. And but at a certain point, you just had to keep quiet up there. Just had to look at God's creation. Just take it all in. And we hear that in the gospel, right? At a certain point, the apostles, they fell silent. Only Jesus remained. Now, why did they fall silent? Because they just saw his glory. They witnessed his face change in appearance. They witnessed his clothes that changed as well. And what else can you say after that? Everything else is a letdown. So it said that they fell silent. Nothing else to say. Sometimes that's the best response for us, to really know the Lord, know Jesus, is to fall silent. But it also says, right before they fell silent, was that a cloud came over them, and they became frightened when they heard this voice. I should also remind us of the first reading that we heard, Genesis, in which God is making a covenant with Abram, soon to be named Abraham. And before he makes a covenant with him, a deep, terrifying darkness envelops him. So you have this deep, terrifying darkness. You have this cloud, and they were frightened in this cloud. So is that the experience that God wants us to have, just to stay there in this cloud, in this darkness? Sometimes we're going to all experience darkness at times, a cloud. It seems like we can't see beauty. We can't see Him. Maybe we're having some problems with our spouse, and we're not sure whether they're acting a certain way. We're not getting along, or boyfriend, girlfriend, and things didn't work out, and they're really kind of depressed over that. Or friends, or maybe with our parents, we're not sure what's going on there, why they're not getting along. We can have this cloud that can settle over us, and it can be a little scary. But what does the Lord want us to do? And even in the midst of this cloud, to look for Him. Realize that cloud isn't it. You know, there's another picture that I don't have today, but it shows a perfectly beautiful mountain, Croagh Patrick, but at the top, at the very top is a little cloud. So if you're at the top, you can't see everything below. Everybody else can see this beautiful mountain, but you can't. You just see this cloud. But the reality is there's still this beautiful view, but we're not seeing it. The Lord wants us to trust even in the midst of the cloud, of the darkness, of those tough times in our life. But in order for us to really see Him, we have to have faith. We have to have faith. And we have to be silent. We all have to fall silent at times. We can only take so much. You know, when someone keeps on talking, we tend to tune them out, right? We try to, make it look like we're still listening, but we're not, because we're just hoping that they'll get the hint and stop talking, please. You may be thinking that right now, but there's nothing more painful when the priest can't land the plane. When you say, okay, just end the homily right there, Father. Oh, that was you missed it. But anyway, so we're listening to these radio, and we're taking a look at the news and everything. But there's only so much we can take in. It's overload at a certain point. We have to stop. We have to take a step back, right? So how are we going to experience Jesus this week? That's why I encourage you to think about this week. In this journey, wherever you're at, how are you going to fall silent before Him? Unplug everything. Take out the earphones. Turn off the phone for a little bit. Turn off the TV. Turn off the radio, that background noise. Just stop talking yourself. Even the rosary. Rosary is good. All the prayers are good. Pray that, but it's supposed to lead to contemplation, to lead to silence before God. And if you're afraid of the silence, at least you're honest about that, but embrace it. Don't run away from it, because we need that. That's only at times we're going to experience Him, to see Him. So what's that going to look for you? What's that going to look like this week for you? It could be in the car. You could experience God in the car. Instead of turning on the radio right away, just be silent for the first part of it. It could be in your room. It could be in nature. Hopefully it's in church. You come to church. But even more than once a week, if you just stop in for adoration. I love when people are here. But I also love it when there's like nobody here. When there's nobody else in the church, and just come and pray. There's only a few people. Nice and quiet. We need both of that, right? We need to be together, but we also need that silence. So let's ask the Lord for that grace and that courage to be silent, so that we may see His face.